Hello, and welcome to Tales from the Backlog. Not Tales from the Backlog, which it might be there if you're looking now. I tried to fix it, but I didn't check if it worked. So, I'm Steve Boshear. I'm going to be your game master tonight. We will be playing Star Trek Adventures tonight with with a brand new team of Starfleet heroes. Starting with Bond, why don't we go around and introduce yourselves? And
Hi, I'm EC Bond from the Gamery. It's a board game live stream, and I've known Steve for a very long time. He's a good guy, and I'm very happy to be here and play some games. Or a game.
And who's your character, Bond?
Oh, I am Captain Jack Hunter.
All right.
Yeah, Captain Hunter.
And my name is Cody, and I'm playing Lieutenant Angus Zoodle, head of security.
All right. Just one of you jump in.
I was waiting for Mia.
Okay, that's fine. I am Mia. I've played here with.
Oh, did we lose Mia's audio? No, just me. Just me.
An Andorian technician, a young officer lieutenant, and she is part of the technical team.
And I am Matt. I will be playing Dr. Enon Worm. I'm not a real worm, but I am a real doctor.
All right.
Wait, Matt, are you a real doctor in real life or just...
I am a doctor in real life, too.
Oh, all right. I didn't know if that was a joke or not. Cool, doctor.
It is a joke.
I'd let you operate on me, Matt.
Well, I'm not that kind of doctor.
You're confusing
Doesn't
our
change
friends,
my
Matt.
response.
Matt?
I'm just going to go with it. I think confusion's going to be a common theme tonight. So, yeah, let's go. I'm down.
Matt is a pharmacist.
Which
Comes with a doctorate, yes.
I'd like you to clarify that.
All right, so we've got Phalorn Grimm in the chat, and two of you guys as well. I see you in there. Let's see. Tonight's game is by Modifius Entertainment. They do a lot of cool tabletop RPGs, many of them from licensed properties like this one, but we wanted to do Star Trek first. Actually, I'm not sure. I don't think we've done anything from Modifius on this stream before, but we've got some other stuff coming up. So yeah, we're gonna have fun. We've got this image here which shows the original series era characters, but we're actually not playing that. We are playing in the TNG era. So I'll just hide that artwork. Let me introduce you guys to your ship. I sent you the ship's character sheet before, and I forgot to have it ready on my own screen, but I'll pull it up right now. What we're gonna go ahead and call it the USS Ambition, right? That's what we're going with. Bond,
I'm fine with that.
Make the call, Captain.
USS Ambition.
All right.
Coming online.
All right. So you guys have a mission of exploration, and mostly what you do is planetary surveys, but you're also known to study strange phenomena in space. You've been out for a few months, until just recently. You had a little stopover at Starbase 4, where, hey, Laser Cat here, this Alan. What's up, man?
What's up, Alan?
That's Alan from the Friday night stream.
I took your spot on the stream.
No, you didn't, because
realize
Alan has never deigned to join us on the Monday stream.
I know. I'm just saying. Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are just out of Starbase 4, and you're heading out to do some more really boring, tedious planetary surveys in your USS Ambition, which is a Nova-class starship. For anyone who cares about such things, you can look that up.
The Chevy Nova starship. Never mind. Sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Correct.
So yeah, you've just taken on supplies, and a few new crew members have joined your ship. A few old crew members left. Kind of Starbase things that you do. And now you've set course for an uncharted sector of space. As always, when you set out to explore the vast blackness of the galaxy, you feel a sense of excitement and optimism. This is what you all joined Starfleet for. Measuring weather patterns and scanning rocks. You're several days out when you receive a transmission that you actually don't recognize right away. But it is an old-style automated distress call from a pre-Federation human vessel. So this is a human ship from before the Federation, about 200 years ago. Under your captain's orders, you have diverted course to investigate, and you trace the signal to a Class M planet in an uncatalogued star system orbiting an unstable wormhole. You're now in a standard orbit around the planet as you begin your investigation. So, I don't think you guys introduced your positions on the ship. Obviously, the captain and the doctor are obvious. Lieutenant Zoodle is our chief of security, and Lieutenant is it Vomi or Vami?
Vami.
Lieutenant Vami is our chief engineer. So at this time, all four of you are on the bridge, and you are orbiting this planet from which this very old distress signal is emanating. What would you like to do?
I don't want to just start being captain, but
Cap-
I can start captain.
Go ahead, captain away.
Lieutenant Vami, anything you can tell us about this wormhole?
I can run a scan, Captain.
Let's do that. Quick at a game master. There is like another wormhole that we know of that connects all the quadrants. This is something totally different. This is just
not too long ago, a stable wormhole was discovered near the planet Bajor, and it connects your part of the galaxy to the opposite end of the galaxy in the Gamma Quadrant. However, what made that significant is the fact that most wormholes are not stable and cannot be used for reliable transportation. They appear and disappear. One end moves, or the other, or both ends move. So they're typically pretty dangerous.
I'm literally so excited because I learned about that today.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's why I asked, because I didn't know if this is like wormholes are just like ponds in space, like every now and then you just find a wormhole, or if there was all just that one wormhole that connects everything, or whatever. So this is an unstable wormhole that we just discovered as investigating a distress signal from a spaceship that's 200 years old.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's correct. Well, you don't know for sure that it's unstable, but like literally only one stable wormhole has ever been discovered. So it probably
let's find out how stable or unstable this is, Lieutenant Vami.
So I would use control and con or science for target numbers on that.
I think you would use science, maybe reason, control, maybe a little, but
reason and science.
Yeah, okay, control is like more like maintaining control of yourself in a stressful situation.
Okay, so target's 13.
Okay. So let's
difficulty. Rolled a 7 and a 20 with the 220.
Ooh, isn't that's bad?
Okay, yeah, 20 means there's going to be a complication, but with the 7, you do succeed.
Can we also use the ship if we're scanning for something? Can we also use the ship as
additional? Yes, I was just going to say that. You can use this. You can be assisted by the ship's sensors and science. So let me pull up the ship here. Ship has 10 for sensors and 4 for science. So what does that mean? We're all learning this game like right now. So I know a lot about Star Trek. I don't know a lot about Star Trek Adventures.
There's something about advanced sensors on the ship, so I think that makes something about the roll better.
Yeah.
It probably reduces the number of tasks by 1 or lets you add another dice, I assume.
Yeah, it does one of those two things for sure. Oh, yeah, it probably raises your target number also. But you succeeded anyway. You know, that result's not going to change, nor is the complication that you rolled with the 20. So, in scanning the wormhole, let me see if I can find a nice piece of flavor text from this adventure to read to you. That's weird, man. Sorry, I'm talking about things that I shouldn't be. Anyway, yeah.
So like the complication, not to like preempt at her, but as I'm scanning, it's like, Captain, I'm getting a clear scan on the wormhole, but there's something undetermined out there that I'm picking up as well.
Yeah, well, one thing, the wormhole. Sorry, I stopped talking because I just saw a section that says the wormhole and complications.
Easy enough.
Yeah. The wormhole is definitely unstable. You are reading temporal fluctuations around the wormhole. Botany Bay, come on, man. It is not the Botany Bay. There are temporal fluctuations around the wormhole, and even as you start scanning it, the wormhole seems to gradually be growing larger. As in, it just started growing larger while you were scanning it.
Lieutenant Vami, could you set us a course so we're not getting too close to that wormhole? And I mean, I know I'm the captain. I just feel weird, like I don't know why I'm the captain. I feel weird giving out orders.
Yeah, give orders.
What is the distance to? Do we know where this spaceship that we found, this distress signal, in relation to the wormhole, the location?
So you're in a star system. The entire star system is orbiting this wormhole. The signal you got is coming from a planet in the system.
Okay.
Do we have visual on the ship?
You haven't scanned the planet yet.
Okay.
Or the orbit. All you've done is scan the wormhole.
Okay.
Well, Lieutenant Zoodle, we're probably going to get ready to send you down there just to take a look. If we're running out of time and this wormhole's unstable, we don't want to stay in this quadrant too long. But we will need to scan that planet as well.
Just point to a place, Captain, and send me down.
Sounds good.
And the wormhole has begun to increase size, and there are tachyon emissions.
Tachyon emissions from the wormhole.
Yeah, the time.
Yeah,
Violation.
Tachyon is Star Trek for time shit.
I got that
Oh,
reference.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I was going to ask. I said it like I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Well, let's scan the planet. Let's see what's down there.
Okay, so this will be a reason plus science task assisted by sensors, the ship's sensors and science. The difficulty is 1.
Who rolls it? Me?
Whoever you say to roll it. Lieutenant Vomi's the engineer. We actually don't have someone working con, but like none of you guys took sciences.
Ensign Petersburg is running con. How the side characters work.
It's pronounced ensign.
Well, whatever. I don't speak English.
Wow. Here we go. Tachyon ensign. Let's go.
All right.
We're gonna lay it on thick all night, so
Yeah.
be ready.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna be good.
Okay. So his name's Ensign Petersburg. And
Okay.
he's running con. I don't know how to generate a character.
I'm just gonna. Okay, Ensign Petersburg. It's fine. You know what? Let's pull him up and let's build him right now. This is a mechanic for our viewers that. Where's the thing? There's the thing. So we've got a handy little web-based character builder here, but there is a mechanic in this game where you can.
Be right back.
Okay.
Oh, you
build
do
some-
this thing, so.
Yeah, we're going to do this. Cody's going to play this character, so Cody will help me build him. In this game, there is a mechanic where we build supporting characters on the fly while we play. So, Petersburg tells me that this character is a human. He's definitely going to be in the sciences if he's the one scanning. Yeah. And let's see, he'll want reason to be high, so let's make that happen. He's going to have pluses to reason. This is supposed to be your job to tell me what to put. I'm just doing this to go fast, but you can tell me to shut up if you want. I'm giving him pluses to reason, insight, and control because that makes sense for the science guy, right?
Yeah.
Then I'll down here in disciplines, I'll bump sciences to 4. Unless you want to use this guy for other stuff, like should he?
No. Ensign has only one job.
Okay, Ensign Petersburg has only one job. So his focus is, he needs 3 focuses. These can be anything that we make up. But they are basically like D&D skills is how they function, but there's not a set list of them in the book. Like you can make them up. So what 3 focuses should we give Ensign Petersburg?
What is he doing right now?
He's scanning for life form. Well, no, he's scanning the planet's surface to see what's there.
He really loves Where's Waldo puzzles.
Okay, so you literally want scanning to be his focus?
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay.
Scanning wormholes specifically, yeah.
We can do that, but I'm going to require that you use this character for something else later in the
Yeah,
game.
that's fine. Whatever. I mean,
give me a second one.
on-the-fly characters is my specialty.
Absolutely.
200-year-old spaceships. Like if he could be kind of a
No, you're
hobbyist.
using information. Then you know what? Yeah, history. Let's say
second
history.
focus.
How about that?
His second focus
History.
is he really knows how to get food materializers to really pump out the good stuff.
Do-
He's really creative with it.
You mean replicators?
Yeah,
Okay,
replicator.
Replicator modding. How about that? Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm
Very
gonna
Sounds like he's a bootlegger, but that sounds good. I like it.
okay.
okay, I'm gonna export this for you, and I will zip it over to you in the.
What? Can
the
you just keep
Discord.
it open while we're using the guy? Is that feasible for you?
It's not set up that way, but
that's
I'll
fine.
I'll just send it to you in the Discord.
Okay. Oh, that's easy. Yeah.
Where's the desktop? There we go. It's Petersburg, right? Ensign Petersburg. Okay.
Yeah.
Petersburg, like the city.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, check out the game planning section. If you are a viewer, you can come see me sending these character sheets to them by joining our Discord, which is linked below, and we all hang out there and have a great time. Petersburg, here he is. All right, you should have.
You didn't do it. Oh God, I gotta download something. All right, cool. Internet's working today. Okay, so it's what is it? Insight and science, right?
It is. I think it's reason and science. Let me double check. Yeah, it's reason plus science, aided by the ship's sensors and science, and it's a difficulty of 1. So it's like you'll definitely succeed unless just the gods hate you.
And it's 2d20 by default, right?
That's by default, yeah.
With no momentum.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And I used to get. So I have a reason of 11 and a science of 4. So I pretty much have to get lower than a 15 on one of these 2 dice for the viewers following along. And I rolled an 11 and 8. So I'm looking pretty good.
So you got 2 successes there.
But
Good
only
job,
one was
Lieutenant Zoodle.
necessary.
Yeah, so, okay, so now we get to do the other cool thing. Where is... You actually have, because of your amazing talent for censoring... Oh, you know what? This won't... I think this doesn't work with supporting characters, but I'll talk about it right now anyway, because if one of your main characters does this, it will matter. Generating momentum. If you get more successes than you need to pass your roll, it goes into a little momentum pool. And I'm going to be tracking that with these little things here. And then later on, you can spend momentum to help you do stuff. So that's cool.
Cool. And that's a group momentum?
Yeah, it goes into a group pool.
Right.
Oh, I didn't realize that part. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. So, here's what you find out. There's a debris field around the planet and on the surface. This debris is of Romulan origin. There is on the surface a shuttle pod, which is generating the emergency beacon. It's functioning in low power mode, which means it's probably not doing anything except that beacon. The planet harbors no indigenous intelligent life forms, but there is one human near the crash site.
Living?
Yes.
Captain, I'm getting a living being down there. And if this ship's from 200 years ago, it's impossible that crewman is from the original crew.
Could be another scouting party in the area. Can we scan the nearby, see if there's any other spaceships in this area that we may have missed? Because Romulans have cloaking technology. Is there any way that we can look for the signs of that?
Cloaking devices, by the way, great job.
I mean, I understand that cloaking means stealth, which defeats the entire purpose of scanning for it.
But remembering that Romulans have cloaking devices, great job, Pawn.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Stupid
right.
lore already.
Yeah, this is happening.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to make you guys roll for this one. It's difficulty 0. Your ship scanners can easily tell that there are no ships around that you can detect. If there is a cloaked Romulan ship, you would not be able to detect it. There's no way.
Can Dr. Worm, is there any information can we have Dr. Worm look at the information about this human to see if there's anything he can tell? Is this human sick? Are they in distress? Is there anything that he can probably glean from this?
From Captain. Oh,
I was going to say from orbit, not really.
I would think the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Permission to speak, Captain.
Lieutenant Zoodle.
Petersburg.
No, it's Petersburg.
Oh, it's Pete. Or actually, it's Zoodle. Are there not? Could it be any life form? I mean, there are species that live for 200 years, are there not?
It reads human.
Oh, it reads human.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's a human life sign. Also, you're out of focus, bud.
I'm trying to fix that.
You
I'll just
weren't
turn it off
earlier.
and on again.
Okay, that's fine. Do what you gotta do. It's gonna be a Skype logo for a second. There we go. And then Bond shrinks for some reason. Now everybody's back. Okay. So yes, there's a human life sign. There's Romulan debris, and a 200-year-old shuttle pod on the surface.
Is there any chance, as far as Starfleet protocols, what I should do in this situation? As far as like, I mean, I'm thinking I want to send a team down there with Dr. Worm and Lieutenant Zoodle to investigate.
That's pretty standard, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure before I do that, because I know I have the, want to double check that.
Well,
so
Starfleet. I was gonna add one thing. Starfleet protocols do dictate that the captain does not go on away missions. However, many very famous captains completely ignore that directive.
Like all the famous ones.
Not all the famous ones. Not all the famous ones.
Any of the captains you know from Star Trek pretty much went on the mission.
Kirk always went. Picard almost never went.
Well, no, I'll stay on the bridge.
Okay.
And Lieutenant Vomi and I can work on this wormhole. Since it's getting larger, we want to keep our eye on that as well.
Captain, I'll need another ensign from security with us down there, just to help ensure that Dr. Worm is nice and safe.
You're in charge, Lieutenant Zoodle.
Okay.
Okay.
At
So
the mention of the Romulans, Vomi's antenna kind of perk up a little bit and twitch.
Romulans.
Mm-hmm. While this is going on, I step aside to Lieutenant Vomi and I say, I noticed that there's a little twitch there with the Romulans. Something I should know?
No, Captain. Nothing at all. Yeah, I would think with your prior experience with her, you realize that she's a little bit afraid.
Yeah.
Cool. Dig it. Not dig it that you're afraid, but understood. Copy that. Roger.
Hey guys, I just found some more information about the wormhole that's coming in on your sensors.
Captain, I've got further information for you in regards to the wormhole.
Lieutenant Zoodle, hold your course.
Computer, can you relay that information to our captain, please?
The wormhole is unstable at its terminus, with anomalous fluctuating gravity readings. And that's all for now.
Can I interrupt really quickly? So I can't see Mia's character name on the layout. I need to write it down so I actually know what their name is.
Atori. Atori.
Okay.
Vomi. Vomi.
Okay.
She's
and
a lieutenant.
Okay.
Lieutenant, yes.
Lieutenant.
Okay, thanks.
Also,
right.
if you're in Skype, right-click the video and select See Full Video Feed.
Oh, based. Okay, cool.
All right. Okay. So, the captain has ordered an away team. This is what you've ordered, Captain. An away team to go down to the planet. Cody's hitting the Star Trek knowledge in the chat right now, which is good. So, I think Lieutenant Zoodle's been ordered to go down. Dr. Worm's going to go down. Zoodle wants to bring another security ensign with him, so I think we need to make another character. Vomi, are you going to the planet, or are you staying up in security?
She'll stay on board the ship.
Okay, so let's make... I was going to say, let's make supporting characters for both Bon and Vomi, Bon and Mia. Does one of you guys want to take over Petersburg?
I can keep Petersburg because I can just switch back and forth depending on the scene, right?
But Zoodle's going down. We're jumping to the scene on the planet, so you're going to be Zoodle.
Yeah. Okay.
So someone else needs to take Petersburg.
Is Petersburg's going with us?
Well, we don't have to. It just would save time.
I don't want him up there because he's really good at the wormholes and 200-year-old spaceships, and he's a brewer. He stays on the ship. We need that guy alive. But I'll jump in as a...
Copy that. I captain. Okay, so we'll make
Petersburg
two.
Like, I'll go down, Captain. I'm like, no, you sit down.
I was just volunteering
Him.
him. I was volunteering him to save time, but if the captain judges otherwise, let's go ahead and make a new one. Okay, so first we need a security guy, right? Or girl, or whatever. Security. Who's gonna play the security ensign under the command of Zoodle? Okay.
I'll be it.
All right. So, what should this person's race be? Species.
Klingon.
Do we have those? Yeah, we do. Why is there a Klingon? Who cares?
I read the book, dude. Klingon's right there. I saw it.
Yeah. You're right. Klingons are there. It's a little weird because Worf's supposed to be the only one in Starfleet, but he's the only important one, right?
That's racist.
Another stowaway.
He's gonna need fitness because of the security stuff.
He's just gonna just click on him, Steve.
What?
You just click on him to highlight him, can't you? Oh wait, no, you guys change him. Never mind.
He gets it's different when he's a Klingon. It automatically selects certain things. So he automatically gets +1 to daring and fitness and presence. I'm not totally sure. Oh, maybe I click and drag? I don't know. Oh,
All I know
see
is this
how
guy's
it is.
supposed to die, so don't get too attached.
I click one and then I click another and they switch. Okay, so he's going to die. Command and security are going to switch. What do you think he's second most good at? Command, con, engineering, science, or medicine?
Medicine.
Right, because he knows where to hit somebody.
He's been hit a lot, and this is the day he dies, but he's been hit a lot.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the day he just doesn't make it, but he's been on this. He's been in this before.
So let's give him 3 focuses. One must be combat.
Wrestling.
Wrestling, no, combat.
Yes, Rattle. Let's go down the ship.
How about Vulcan martial arts moves? It says Phalorn Grimm.
It sounds too fancy for this guy.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to throw out one thing. Because
Sure.
Bon was talking about how long he's known me, and Matt was being quiet about the fact that he's known me even longer.
Even longer.
I have known Phalorn Grimm since before I started kindergarten. That's the guy. He was my neighbor.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So was he your dad? How does
He's
that
not my
work?
dad, no.
Before I was born, he knew. Wow, man, you guys go way back.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
gracious,
we
the cats
didn't
have just destroyed things.
We didn't really hang out because he was the age of my older sister, but I hung out with his little brother.
Okay, we need him to fly the shuttle down and back. Which would be an issue because when he dies down there, it'll be rough.
Well, we have 2 supporting characters come with us, right?
Yeah,
so I think
but
the other guy...
you guys don't need a pilot because they're these things called transporters.
Oh, really? It'd be
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I hear you.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
fine.
If only
This
he'll
guy.
just beam us down. It's okay.
Yeah. You could have another doctor or medical person, or you could have 2 security people. But let's finish building this guy first. He's going to be an ensign. Security ensign, what's his name? Clack? It's a good Klingon name.
Clack.
Clack. He
called
needs 2 more
Target.
focuses. He needs 2 more focuses.
We got medicine and combat, right?
Focuses are like skills in D&D, so they're a little different.
Yeah, they're a little. They could be like. Oh, you know what? Hating Romulans.
What is that Viking rat battle thing called again?
Viking rap battle? What are you talking about?
It's like flogging or something like that, or
Bro, whatever.
I didn't know that there was Viking rap battles, but now there needs to be.
that's what this guy should be good at.
You know what? I gave him Romulan history and combat so far, so he needs one more, and we are gonna make it rap battles. He's in Starfleet for a reason, and that reason is rap battles.
Do we have like a 10 forward on this ship then, I guess?
Yeah.
A lounge?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the ship is smaller than the Enterprise, I think, but there can be that.
For
We go on the holodeck and bring up some classic, you know.
It's called flighting, is what it's called.
It's called
You
flighting?
made that up. That is not a thing.
No, it is 100% real.
And Matt's a doctor. I don't trust any of my crew, but you know what? We're going to get the job done.
Okay, I'm about to drop Clack, and you know what? I'm going to just do a screenshot of him. I'm going to drop him into the Discord as a image instead of a PDF. That'll be faster for you guys. So, Bon, if you're in the Discord, you can see Ensign Clack right there.
Got it.
Okay, so let's do another one for Mia.
This one's really cool. You can just pull it up like that.
Yeah, it took me a minute to figure out, but we got it now.
Shakespeare and Klingon, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, actually, let's get rid of combat. He's a drama major. He was just put into security as like a racial thing. We don't talk about it.
Yeah, you know
I just
what?
want to talk about it.
He's still better at combat than you think, but no, there
That's why I set
was
up all the
like
dangerous missions. He's like, yeah, send the Shakespearean Klingon over there. Yeah.
Oh, is that your Sarah?
It is.
Oh, that's okay. I see. Matt and I both have wives named Sarah. So Mia,
Let's go.
what's that?
Go with another. Let's do another human.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this a doctor, a scientist, or a security officer, or an engineer? I don't know why.
An engineer to investigate the wreckage and report back.
Oh, it didn't occur to me that was something you'd want to do. If that's the case, you could just keep playing Vomi if you want to send the chief engineer.
I don't want to send the
Captain,
Okay, that's up to the
forced her to stay on
captain.
the ship.
Okay, fine.
You
Okay.
keep trying to send her down there, and I don't understand.
Saving time.
Vomi
Saving
down
time,
there?
bud.
Say again?
I'm saving time. I'm trying to
Yeah.
avoid building new characters for everything, but I guess we won't do that.
Also, Steve is trying to kill all of us, so that's secondary.
Yeah, that's why that wormhole got bigger out of nowhere. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got an engineer here. How do we want his attributes to, or her attributes? Why don't we start with that? What are we doing for name and gender, and then we'll go back up.
He'll be a male
Okay.
gender. Reynolds. Ensign Reynolds.
Reynolds it is.
I like it. Better than Clank.
Clack.
Oh.
I feel like Reynolds should be the rapper, though. Reynolds rap.
Oh.
Okay, so what are Ensign Reynolds' attributes? What is he going to be really good at?
Insight and
Oh.
reason.
Okay, so insight 10, reason 9. What is he going to be really bad at?
Fitness.
That's where he's at. Okay. So we can give him because he's human, we can give him bonuses to insight and reason. And he gets a third one, which we could put maybe in control or presence. Or we could...
Control.
Okay. Cool. For disciplines, we have Command Con, Engineering, Security Science, Medicine. Obviously, his highest is going to be Engineering. What do you think second highest would be?
Science.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. and then two of them are going to get a 2. Right now it's in command and security, and con and medicine each have a 1. We can swap those around if you want.
They're fine where they're at.
All right. And last step, let's give him 3 focuses. I know we're great at this part.
Can we give him 2 to make it faster?
I mean, sure, he can just be, like, not that good at stuff.
Engineer Reynolds.
Yeah, Engineer Reynolds. The supporting character.
Call him like a tunnel rat. He likes to crawl around on the EPS conduits.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That was really good. Yeah.
But I think you actually mean Jeffrey's tubes.
Jeffrey's tubes.
Yeah. And then what's the other one?
Jury rigging.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Like MacGyvering.
Shouldn't we just call it MacGyvering?
Okay, but someone help me on this because I've never known. Is the expression jury rigging or jerry rigging?
Jerry rigging.
Jerry rigging. Okay. Like that's my dad's name, so I always hear Jerry, but I never know if it's supposed to be that. Okay. Okay. What's this third
Or
one?
should it be jury rigging? Like a jury, like you're rigging the. You know what? Let's just not go down this path. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's both. So
I still think we should have animal handling for somebody.
Okay, animal handling. Unless someone has a better idea.
Perfect. Like it. Dig it. That's good. He crawls in tunnels, jerry rigs stuff, and can handle the animals. This is. I love this guy. Reynolds is great. I'm liking Reynolds a lot better than Clank. Yeah, Clank.
it's a good thing you're not too attached to Clank.
His name, for the last time, is Clack.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's not. His name's Clank.
All right.
Look, he reports to me, and I made him change his name on his tour plate.
That's right. We
Here's-
added an N to make it up. A real word.
There's Ensign Reynolds in the Discord for you. So we have Clack, Reynolds, Zoodle, and Worm beaming down to the planet. So the Romulan vessel has crashed in what appears to be a once forested valley. It's now a jagged landscape where slabs of rock jut upwards and limbless trees stand at unnatural angles, just like every episode of Star Trek. They are hanging on even as the land has clearly shifted beneath them. There are fallen trees that litter the uneven ground, and twisted, blue-barked seedlings sprout from the carcasses. Several volcanoes smoke in the distance, filling the sky with ash. The sun is a cold yellow disk in the ash clouds. Small furry-tailed animals, each with one red eye, scurry about, while brightly colored beetle-like creatures the size of a human hand dart from rock crevices, their 5-pronged pincers snapping. Not much remains of the Romulan ship beyond huge chunks of charred hull, covered in a blanket of strange blue-tinted moss, which appears to be one of the few plant species thriving here. The pre-Federation shuttle pod rests nearby, its roof and sides thick with the bluish moss except around the door, which has been cleared in patches as if removed by hand.
So this is a different ship? Or is this the 200-year-old ship?
The shuttle pod is the 200-year-old ship that you discovered. The Romulan vessel that has crashed, now that you guys are down here, you can easily see is also quite old.
Can I communicate up to the ship? Lieutenant Vomi, which one of these ships has the life form in it? If we're close enough in scanner range.
Well, surely you're asking Petersburg that question.
Yeah, Petersburg. I'm asking myself, I guess. Who has passed control over to Lieutenant Vomi because it's his lunch break.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, I guess say Reynolds would be scanning for for life forms. A little distracted by the little creatures running around. He's like, seems fascinated and distracted. It's like, oh, those are interesting animals. He's got the tricorder out, trying to figure out where the life form is that the human signal. Bomi, sorry.
I was just going to let you know that your tricorder readings show that the survivor is not far from the shuttle pod, but is not in it.
Clank would like to. What?
Clark. His name is Clark.
His name's Clark now? I'm like, Clark's good too.
We just whitewashed his name.
I mean, I said Clark, but you guys do what you want. Also, we've learned.
Any way he can use his Romulan history to identify this old Romulan ship?
Yeah. Actually, this is a zero difficulty task, especially for someone already versed in Romulan history. This ship is from the Earth-Romulan War era. This is a 200-year-old Romulan vessel. At the time that this ship was in service, the Romulans had not yet developed cloaking devices, and it matches the time period that the shuttle pod is from.
So Dr. Worm is going to step up here and just remind everybody that there was talk of tachyon particles. So he's assuming that both of these ships came from the wormhole that is unstable. But since I'm telepathic, is there any way that I can kind of scan around to see if there's any minds worth reading in what they're saying?
Yeah, there's a dude behind a rock not far away. And what's the name of our tricorder guy? I already forgot. Reynolds. Reynolds also knows this because of his tricorder, that this guy is just like over there behind a boulder watching you guys.
Oh.
What's he thinking?
What's he thinking?
Is it more than just ow?
Not really, but let me check out. let me check out how your telepathy works. I actually don't know that. I should have looked that up earlier.
I also have a plan now.
He sticks 2 fingers to his forehead. Never mind.
Oh,
so
okay.
I can sense surface thoughts and emotions of most living things nearby.
Okay, well, he's definitely scared.
And I cannot choose not to sense emotions or read surface thoughts. So I have to hear them.
Yeah, all right.
Unless this human is resistant to my mind reading abilities.
Do I speak Romulan or like have a device that lets me speak Romulan?
Hold on, let me resolve Dr. Worm's question first. Yeah, so his emotions are he's scared and extremely stressed out and confused. His thoughts run along the vein of, who the hell are these people? Why are they here? Why is one of them a Klingon?
So I'll convey that to the rest of the group and then suggest to Lieutenant Zoodle that we share that information with our captain so that we can determine how he would like us to proceed with this old man.
I look offended. What, he can't tell I'm a Bajord?
He first of all, you don't know that he's thinking that because you're not telepathic.
I thought he just told me that. My bad.
But yeah, he's over there and he's watching you. You guys haven't actually seen him yet.
Oh, I see.
Is there a ship designation or like a call letter on the shuttle that we can identify and relay back to the ship above?
Any actual markings are scratched and hard to read, but you do find the registry, and it says this is a shuttle pod registered to the Starship Atlantis, which is an NX class vessel. A quick check up with the ship's computer will let you know that this vessel was lost with all hands. The mothership of this shuttle pod was lost with all hands during the Earth-Romulan War.
Okay, so I have a rough idea of where he is, right? Like he's behind a rock in a direction is where this Romulan is, right?
Yeah, you guys all know he's there at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we know exactly where he is.
Yeah.
Ensign?
Yes, sir.
What's it? Yeah.
Clark.
Go around, Clark.
Clang.
And Clang. Clark. Clang on.
Click, clank, Clark.
And if he looks like he's about to shoot one of us, knock him out.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're gonna approach slowly. All right.
Well, I'm gonna reiterate that maybe we should ask Captain Hunter what he'd like us to do, because the guy's scared. So I don't know if he's just gonna start shooting, but we could certainly let him know who we are if he's scared.
Okay, so now, okay. All right,
Okay, well, hold on. Let me just establish one thing. Zoodle's in charge here.
Yeah.
He's the ranking officer in the away team. You don't have to check with the captain unless Zoodle says to check with the captain.
Yeah, and out of character, I was totally ignoring that on purpose.
So, like, I would be, like, as the medical officer, though, and this would involve somebody's health, including Lieutenant Zoodle's, then my rank kind of goes along that regards also.
Yeah, you can absolutely, give him your recommendations, and once you have a good examination of this person, you'll be the one making the calls about what needs to be done with him. But yeah,
my goal would be, my assumption is this is a time lost Romulan, and I ideally would give you the opportunity to take study of him, but the means of the how might not matter.
Once again,
this dude's
for
a
at
human,
least the third time,
he's human.
He's human.
I'm sorry. I just get these names mixed up.
You don't even know you get human mixed up with stuff?
Yeah, dude. I don't even know what race I am.
You're Kryptonian, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Really? We're okay. No, yeah.
We're doing it. We'll do that.
I'm gonna tackle this guy. No, I'm kidding.
Damn it, Clang! This is why we put you in security.
Should I roll my stealth?
No, he's seen you guys.
No, he can,
then though. Can we just say hey, like?
Yeah, you know what? At this point, he's going to look out, and you can all see him. He's got crazy eyes, and he clearly hasn't shaved or showered in a long time. His hair is really long. His beard is really long. They're tangled in mangy knots. His clothing is an old-timey Starfleet uniform pre-Federation. It's ragged and torn. It's barely covering his body. It's so torn up.
Dr. Worm, how malnourished is this guy look? Just from a glance. Like, how bad is it?
I mean, he looks pretty unkempt, so I would assume that he's generally malnourished, but I don't think he's actively dying right now.
What is the plant science guy? No, what's the other support character's name?
Clank,
Reynolds?
Clark, and Reynolds.
Reynolds. Can you scan around to see what plant life this guy might be eating and how it might affect a human? Or just maybe what it would be feasibly eaten?
Easy enough.
All right. That's
scan the plant life in the area.
Absolutely. So, let's do this with a reason plus science.
13.
Okay. Your difficulty is 1.
I rolled a 5 and a 17.
Okay, so you have succeeded. There is a nearby river, actually, containing a chemical compound that acts like a powerful psychotropic drug on the human mind.
Dr. Worm, Lieutenant Zoodle, the water supply in the area seems to be polluted with a psychoactive compound.
I'm making the call. Ensign, knock him out.
Roger that.
Phaser set for stun.
Look, if you're under a psychedelic,
disagree with that.
What
do you recommend then, Doctor?
No, Doctor, he said he agreed. He's good. Hold on,
you're good?
I'm looking for a dice roll.
I mean, he's
No,
got.
I said disagree. I disagree with knocking him out.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to speak for you. I thought
If he has psychoids in his system, I imagine he's not gonna approach us with much, warm, old school handshake.
I mean, what we know is that he has crazy eyes and that there's a psychotropic element in the water. But we haven't even tried saying anything to this guy. We've just been staring at him, and then you just want to flank him and knock him out.
While you guys are discussing whether you should beat the shit out of the only human survivor on this planet, he comes out from behind the rock, and you can see he has a crude handmade bow and arrow that he seems to.
He's got a weapon,
but he's not aiming it at you. But he does have an arrow knocked, and he comes forward. He says, "Who are you?"
Wait, did he sneeze or did he say, "Who are you"?
He said, "Who are you?"
Oh,
sorry. It was both, I think.
It was a little both.
Hold on, I gotta get my title right. This is gonna sound really dumb. I'm Lieutenant Zoodle, Chief of Security of the Ambition. And we got a distress signal that we've been investigating, and we found you here. Are you okay?
What's your species?
Bajoran.
I don't know you.
Yeah, well, you know what these guys are.
He's gonna turn and look at Reynolds and be like, "You're a human."
Yes.
Why do you wear that badge? I don't recognize it.
We are members of the Federation of Planets. I'm from Earth. He's from Bajor, pointing to Zoodle. You're a Betazoid, Dr. Worm?
I am.
He's from Betazoid. And here is a Klingon.
I know Klingons. Klingons hate us.
As a member of the engineering team, we've detected tachyon particles. What year are you from?
I forget what year I told you guys it was. It's 2371. So he's from 2171.
Well, we all wear the same uniform. Obviously, who I am, and this is Ensign Reynolds, Ensign Clack, Kling, and Dr. Worm. Who are you, and what vessel did you come from?
Lieutenant John Kearney, Armory Officer, Starship Atlantis, NX class. I don't understand. What's a Federation? What's a Betazoid? What's a Bajoran? I don't know what you're talking about. Is this a Romulan trick?
So Ensign Reynolds could probably give him an extensive history, right? So
Give him a quick breakdown that the NX class Avenger was lost. And there have been many ships built since then, bigger, faster. We've encountered many other species, and we've all banded together in an alliance.
Since
against the Romulans.
In the last 6 years?
It's been 200 years. He said lieutenant, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I crashed here 6 years ago. There was no Federation 6 years ago. We certainly weren't palling around with Klingons.
He's an exception.
This guy, he's kind of twitchy. You can all tell. He's been alone a long time. He keeps reacting to things that you guys don't see, like looking around. And his hands on that bow are fidgeting.
There's one set for stun.
Yeah. We have medical supplies and not psychoid infested water on the ship, the Ambition. We could give you medical treatment and to help you reclaim some of your stuff and get you back to Earth, maybe.
I mean, it would be appropriate at this time, since you brought the doctor with you, to have the doctor maybe examine the guy.
Can you do that here, or do you need to be up in your lab to do that?
There is. I know you guys, some of you are Star Trek noobs, but there is actually a type of thing called a medical tricorder.
Which I have.
I believe is the same as a tricorder, but it says medical on it.
It does medical things too, yeah.
Yeah.
If you would allow, we could scan to see how you're doing in health. And I'm sure Dr. Worm has a better bedside manner, so I'll let him take over from here.
So as long as we have his permission, I would like to scan him and just see how he's doing.
You know, it's funny, no doctor in all of Star Trek has ever asked for permission before scanning somebody, but I guess that's how it works. Yeah. Give me a reason plus medicine task. Difficulty 1.
Playing softball with us, Steve.
So reason plus medical, and then so I have triage as a focus. Would that make my...
This has nothing to do with triage.
Sure it does. That's exactly what triage is.
I thought triage was prioritizing injured people based on the severity. There's only one guy here who needs your help.
Right, so triage would be like determining what the issue is.
Yeah, like we need to cut off his hand right now. He would be able to determine that. It's triage.
My dude, are you telling me that I have gotten the wrong definition of triage my entire life? Because that's like a word that I know, and that's not what I thought it meant.
No. Steve,
so
you're right.
Triage would be prioritizing, but it would also be like when you're seeing one patient, triage would be like determining what the issue is.
All right. Then by all means...
Like you're stretching, though, man.
Well, somebody bond with the plastic by the mic, man.
Don't act guilty.
I'm sorry, wasn't what? What's happening?
Somebody was unwrapping a present over at your place.
Somebody.
Wasn't me.
All right.
So do I get?
Yeah, I guess if that's what that word means, then sure, do that. You get.
What did you think that word meant, Steve?
Well, like I said, a triage, as I have heard it used, means prioritizing by severity of the injury who you're going to treat. Like in battlefield, in war movies, they always set up a triage. So I'm like, why would that apply if there's only one guy here? But Matt informs me that it also refers to diagnosing the issue to begin with, apparently. So that's news to me. But
I think it's kind of the same thing. You guys are kind of saying the same thing.
Not really, but that's fine. You can use it. What it means is you're going to get 2 successes. It's anytime you roll under instead of 1. So for each dice that succeeds, it's actually going to be 2 successes.
All right. So do I just roll 1 or do I roll 2 20s?
Roll 2 d20s, and because of your triage ability, it will count as 2 every time you get a success.
So I got an 8 and a 2.
That's 4 successes. You only needed 1. So
I
yeah.
get momentum. Well, we get momentum.
Yeah,
right?
I will add to the momentum here. I think I left that one on there by accident, but you had 4 successes. You're using one of them to actually succeed. So now there's 3 momentum for the crew. Now the reason that was so easy was because Lieutenant Zoodle already guessed what the problem was, and you guys confirmed it with Reynolds' earlier scan, that there is this psychotropic substance on the planet that has caused him to go nuts. Other than that, there are, signs of exhaustion and small injuries like bruises, abrasions, just from living here in this desolate place by himself. But he's otherwise fine. So if you so if you scan him, you can confirm that that's basically the only thing wrong with him, is that he's been exposed to this drug.
So I'll tell him that. It looks like you've been exposed to something that's affecting your sanity a little bit, your mental faculties. So we can certainly treat that for you, and tend to some of your smaller cuts and bruises and get you back into shape. And we'd be more than willing to help.
Okay.
Figure out what else is going on with you.
Sober him up.
Sober him up.
All right. So, you want me to come to your ship?
Yeah, if you're willing to come.
Yeah, I'm willing to come if it gets me off this planet. Where's your shuttle?
Well, we don't use those anymore. Not necessary. It's been 200 years, Lieutenant. Come a long way since working with
Sorry.
all the other races.
How'd you?
We're also snarky.
How'd you get here?
200 years now.
I'm
sorry.
We trust you will relax. I'm gonna contact the captain to let him know we're bringing aboard a passenger.
Are you guys using transporters now?
Yeah.
Those were around 200 years ago. They were kind of new. I didn't really like them.
Well,
mostly for cargo.
Well, they're safe. You might feel a little nauseous, so prepare for that. Captain, so I'm communicating. Permission to bring on a human survivor, Lieutenant Kearney, from the Atlantis. So, probably sole survivor of the Atlantis.
Copy that. Ready the medical bay for a patient. Dr. Worm, will you be accompanying and the team? Are you going to stay and investigate the spaceships?
I feel like we should send the ensign back with the doctor, and then Reynolds and I should stay to survey the area.
As you will, Lieutenant.
Okay.
All right. So Ensign Clack is going up, and Dr. Worm.
But I survived. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Until
until the transporter accident.
The guy's gonna shank you as soon as you guys land in the transporter.
Oh, dang it! Didn't see that coming.
All right, so you guys beam him up to the ship. Dr. Worm, you have Lieutenant Kearney in sick bay. And you are treating him. Let's go ahead and do you can do a medicine roll with control or reason. And this will be a difficulty of...
I think it's 0 if I'm actually on the ship in the med bay.
Well, just a moment. because he's been exposed to this substance for so long, finding a treatment for him is actually going to be a bit of a challenge. So yeah, for this one, you just need to study the patient. So it's control and medicine, difficulty 2, assisted by ship's sensors and medicine.
So it does say that if a character is in the sick bay at the time it's required, then you reduce the opportunity by 1.
Yeah, that's taken into account already.
So it's 2 with the 1?
Yeah.
Sure. All right. So you said it's going to be reason and medicine?
Correct. Control and medicine. Sorry. Just to study. First step is to study the patient. Second step is find a treatment. So right now you're doing the first step.
All right. So I still roll 2?
Correct.
So I needed to get below 13, and I got an 8 and a 12.
Okay, that's 2 successes. They're both required to beat a difficulty of 2. So no momentum from that, but you do succeed.
Well, you said we can use the ship, right? So we can use the ship to get any momentum if somebody wants to roll for the ship.
Yeah,
right.
That is correct. If someone wants to, aided by the ship's sensors and medicine.
If anybody wants to roll, we get momentum.
Okay, so what do I'm using sensors and medicine, so I got to beat 12.
That's right.
And I got an 18.
So okay, no success there. Did you roll? You're supposed to roll 2d20.
Oh. 16.
Okay, so no help there, no momentum, but no harm either. So you have now a decent understanding of the effect of this long-term exposure on Lieutenant Kearney's biology. So in order to find a treatment, now you need to roll again. This can be control or reason plus medicine. And it can be assisted by the ship's computers plus medicine. So if someone wants to roll for the ship, they can do that.
What am I rolling for?
You are rolling to find a treatment. So far you've studied him. Now you have the information you need to find a treatment.
Sorry, which attribute am I doing? Reason this time?
You can choose control or reason.
Reason gets me a higher threshold, so...
Okay. And then plus medicine. And then who's rolling for the ship?
Bon is.
Bon is rolling for the ship. So, Bon, you're doing 2d20 for the ship's computer plus medicine, which is 10 plus 2, so 12. You're trying to get 12 or under, Bon.
10 and 5.
10 and 5. That's 2 successes from the ship. What about Dr. Worm?
I also have 2 successes. I got a 5 and a 12.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, we got a ton of momentum.
Yeah, you got... So the difficulty on this was 4. No, 3. So you actually get 1 momentum. Because 3 of your successes were required. I'm going to tell you now, because nobody thought of it, and now it doesn't matter anymore. But had you taken a sample of the compound when you were on the planet, you would have reduced the difficulty just now. It's the kind of thing you scientist types got to think about.
We're doing that now. We're still on the planet.
The guy knocked out, so...
Yeah. So you have what you need to develop a hypospray that will begin to heal the damage caused to his nervous system. Determining the correct dose will require another check. This will be insight plus medicine with a difficulty of 3. You cannot be aided by the ship for this one.
Use some momentum.
A failure means that he gets too high of a dose and may go into a coma.
Yeah, so I can use momentum to lower that more, right?
Yeah.
It adds dice, I thought.
I think spending momentum automatically gives you 2 successes. Is that what it is? Or is that's determination.
I thought that's just how you got more dice.
Let me double check, because there's one thing. Bond, use your mute button, bud. There's one thing that does, I think you have determination. Yo, what's that? Oh my gosh. Bond, you turned off the video, not the audio. Oh my gosh. Use guys. Okay. What was I doing? I was going to look up the momentum thing. So, momentum. Grant a character bonus. Spending momentum. Okay, sorry. This book is laid out in a way that doesn't make sense to me all the time. The normal use for momentum is to improve the outcome of a successful task. Most uses... That's not what I thought. So you have to already succeed in order to use the momentum.
Right.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's confusing because when I was watching the video, it just seemed like they chose to use it to get more dice or whatever. But
there are ways to get more dice. Improving the odds. Let's look at this. There are ways to get more dice. One of them is to use determination, which you can use when you have a talent that applies to the situation. Do you have a talent that you think applies to the situation?
You know, I've been staring at those, and I don't really think that I do. Like field medicine.
Oh, you know what? It's right here. This is what I'm talking about with the layout. On a completely different page than where it says what momentum's for. It's on a page where it's describing how to improve the odds. Momentum is listed. It says you can spend momentum to create opportunity. Allows characters to buy additional dice, representing coordination, teamwork, blah, blah, blah. So a single point of momentum will add 1 bonus d20. You can add a third d20. The second bonus die will cost 2 momentum. So getting 1 extra die costs 1, getting 2 extra die costs 3, and getting 3 extra die costs 6.
So how much do I have to? How many successes do I need to have?
This is a difficulty of 3, so you need 3 successes. And what is your number? It's insight plus medicine. What is your target there?
I'm looking at 16.
That's a pretty high target. That's decent. But
I only have 2 dice, and I can't get successes.
You can't get 3 successes on that. Yeah.
So I have to at least do 1 to try to get the 3 successes.
Yeah.
But for the rest of my team here, should I buy 2 additional die so that I have the chance to not succeed on one of them?
Yeah, go ahead, do that.
Yeah.
Do we really want to waste momentum on just this guy?
Yeah. Because what if he succeeds on everything? Because then we just get it back. It's no big deal.
We're gambling.
Yeah.
Say this one dude.
And I've been racking up the momentum. So
It's your call then.
Oh, all right, all right. There you go. So roll 4 d20 then, Mr. Momentum Genius.
Hey, some people got it.
Mm-hmm. The next character we make is gonna be called Momentum.
All right, I'm gonna spell it funny though. So I got a 6, a 5, and 2 10s.
All 4 of them succeeded.
And he gets the 1 momentum back.
He gets 1 back. Look at that. So yeah, you successfully hypo spray this guy without knocking him out. I've lost my place, but that's okay because we are close to break time. So Ensign Kearney is starting to calm down. He's starting to like get subdued a little bit. But before we take
demote him? I thought he was a lieutenant.
What did I say? I said ensign, didn't I? No, he's a lieutenant. But I mean, maybe you demoted him for being such a druggie.
Can't blame him. He was just thirsty.
I mean, maybe because his like organization of employment doesn't exist anymore. But
that's also relevant. Yeah.
It's like judge the guy, huh?
Well, the relationship between pre-Federation human Starfleet and then like the Federation's Starfleet, it's a little fuzzy, I think, in Star Trek lore. Like, how did one become the other? Don't know. But Captain Jack Hunter, you're still on the bridge.
Correct.
Lieutenant Vomi is there with you, as well as a bunch of randos manning the con. The wormhole, it is reported to you, has inexplicably grown larger. At this
How
time,
large is it?
Big as hell. At this time, 2 points are added to the threat pool as the immense gravitational forces generated by the anomaly have begun to pull your ship out of orbit. Remaining in orbit is now going to put excessive strain on your engines. So from this point on, I don't know who's tracking the ship. From this point on, staying in this system is going to start draining the ship's power.
And as far as the timeline of the story goes, I'm finding this out when, well, I want to contact the away team to get a status update. So as far as a timeline of when this is occurring versus what has happened in the game.
This is occurring while Dr. Worm is treating Lieutenant Kearney in sickbay.
Okay, so then I will contact. So then,
Zoodle and Reynolds are still down there. Yeah.
Zoodles and Reynolds. Lieutenant Zoodle, come in.
Yes, hello, Captain. Loud and clear.
The wormhole has become a little bit of a problem. It's a status down there.
Reynolds, status report. Where are you on collecting those samples and doing your readings?
How long we've been at it now? About a half hour. I would say he's probably.
How long does it take a Starfleet doctor to diagnose and cure somebody? Because that's how long you've been down there.
Like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Get there, go to the sick bay.
Yeah.
I've completed approximately 70% of my survey, sir.
Anything of note that any samples that you want to take that you have? You're 70% through all that. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're just gonna grab his logs. We're gonna find his logs, and then we're gonna get beamed back up.
When you say his logs, you mean Reynolds' logs or Lieutenant Kearney's logs?
Lieutenant Kearney's, like, I assume, like, logs from just being out here for 6 years.
Okay.
Any data pads you would have.
Okay. Yeah, there are ship's logs in the shuttle that you can download. Yeah.
I want to send Reynolds to actually download the Romulan crash. Is that close? How close is it?
It's within sight, but it's not functioning. There's no way to easily download stuff from the Romulan ship.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, we'll just get it from the human shuttle.
Okay.
And then we'll get beamed back up.
Okay. So you guys beam up. So the gravitational forces have continued to increase over the course of this little conversation. due to the ongoing effects of this phenomenon, your ship will not be able to generate its full power at the start of each scene. It's only going to be able to generate 1 point of power. So normally every time a scene starts, the ship gets its full power back. That's not going to be the case from now on. It's only going to generate 1 power. And right now, I'm actually going to spend one of these threat points to take away one unit of power from your ship. And so now you have everyone on board, but the wormhole is growing. Without full power, basic ship functions are operating on battery reserves. Under these conditions, there is little hope of breaking free without placing an enormous strain on your engines and risking an overload. Should the power reach 0, your ship will suffer an engine complication. The engines will overload, the dilithium crystal converter assembly will fuse, and then the ship will not be able to generate power or warp at all. So you guys are a little bit stuck for now, as this wormhole is trying to pull you in. And we are going to take our 10-minute break right now and come back in 10 minutes while Captain Jack Hunter tries desperately to save the day with the help of his crew of ne'er-do-well Starfleets.
Everyone get out and push.
Lieutenant Vomi has an applicable talent, so we'll get back to that.
We'll get back to that. That could be good. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you to everyone for watching. We will be back from our break in 10 minutes. I have 9:59 here in California. So we'll be back around 10:09. If you've ever watched this stream before, you know that's a lie. We'll be back when we feel like it. But it'll be in the range of 10 minutes. So we'll see you then. Thank you for watching. Welcome back to Star Trek Adventures with Tales from the Backlog and our crew of occasionally violent Starfleet personnel. Just ordering people to tackle survivors on random planets. And fortunately, he didn't actually do it, but it occurred to me during the break. Another way to run this game would have been for none of you to be the captain. Make the captain an NPC, then just let you tackle people you're trying to save, and then the captain gets you in trouble for it. That would be another way to run this game. But
still gotta blow something up.
Yeah.
Still gotta do that.
You still gotta blow something up. Speaking of which,
blowing up.
Yeah. So you're all back on the ship now. Lieutenant Kearney is healed of his psychotropic deterioration. Your vessel, the USS Ambition, is wrenched out of orbit by the bizarre gravitational forces coming from this wormhole. You are getting intermittent sensor readings of an object within the wormhole, which seems to be a ship.
Shields up.
I think that's Petersburg's job. Or Zoodle's.
yeah,
It's probably Zoodle's job, actually. Zoodle's job.
Either way, it's me. What?
Shields are up. You don't have to roll anything. The shields. Right. You just tell them the shields are up.
Press the button. I press the blue button.
Yeah. Okay, that's the shields one.
In
I
general
want to check
quarters.
in with Dr. I want to check in with Dr. Worm. Dr. Worm, can you give me a status on your patient?
Yeah, he's recovering nicely. He has lost that crazy glimmer in his eye. He's just resting up, and we're trying to get him showered and cleaned up and fed.
I want to get some more information out of him. Lieutenant Zomi, would you... Well, no, I'm trying to think. No, Lieutenant Zoodle. Go down and question the patient. Let's find out what he knows.
About what topic specifically?
Well, there's a ship coming out of... We're getting another object coming out of the wormhole. say ask him about what he was doing there, what his mission was, how long he's been there.
On it. I run down to the turbo lift. Have a conversation with myself. Over to the med bay.
All right.
And the turbo lift ride is just long enough for Lieutenant Vomi to resolve her or their.
It's her,
is
right?
Shield
Lieutenant Vomi is female, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. By the way, did that shield thing just happen, or were you wanting to use a momentum for that right now?
No, yeah, it just happens. All you did was put up the shields. It doesn't cost anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah.
Lieutenant Zomi, let's scan that ship, that object that we're reading coming through the wormhole.
Sure thing. Let me see. What do we got here? Another reason and science on that, Steve?
Correct.
Any extreme difficulty?
No, it's going to be difficulty 1.
Okay. I rolled a 5 and a 10.
Okay. Those are both successes, right?
Yes, sir. Pardon my squeaky chair.
All right. So, yeah, you identify that this ship stuck in the wormhole is the starship Atlantis. It is the 200-year-old NX-class starship from which Lieutenant Kearney came. And it also seems to be the source of the gravitational anomalies.
Instead of, so I have the ship logs, and I gave those to, I guess, someone in comm. I just handed this data pad to him.
Do you want to hear Kearney's logs?
Yeah, about like the condition of him. He probably has some. Well, I guess we probably don't have time for that. To like sift through his logs, figure out an entry about the condition of the Atlantis as he left.
I can literally read you his logs if you want.
Oh, okay, yeah. If
Okay.
it's useful.
I mean, I don't know if it's useful. You're going to listen and tell me.
Real quick before we do that, again, Lieutenant Vomi has a talent called a little more power. With any success of an engineering task aboard the ship, she gains 1 power back for the ship.
Okay.
She hasn't really done anything in engineering yet.
Yeah, that's a good point.
She's run some scanners. So.
Oh, she's lost her antenna.
Yeah, they're a little uncomfortable. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, hearing that news from Lieutenant Vomi, the ship's power is an issue. Anything she can do to increase that, you're authorized to do.
Why is Jason saying that our ship is fat?
We have she has a focus in power systems, so she can get on the computer and try and sort out a hack of some sort to boost power.
All right, so your ability says when you succeed on a task, you can do that. But in this case, restoring power actually is your task, right? That's exactly what you're trying to do.
Yeah, could we say like reduce life support in a storage compartment somewhere to boost power?
That is a creative solution. Yeah, why don't you roll? I will give it a difficulty of 2 because of the presence of this wormhole drawing power.
So reason and engineering for that?
Yes.
Target is 13. I rolled a 20 and a 7.
Okay. Well, you succeed and you do restore 1 unit of power to the ship. But the complication is going to be that you have damaged the power rerouting systems. and it's going to take extra work now to repair them in order to do this again.
Quick question while we're on the task of power. Our ship says that whenever a character succeeds at a power management task, the ship gains 2 power per momentum spent. So can we somehow spend momentum to counteract that
You
20?
can, but at this time the ship isn't down by that much.
Okay.
Is one of you guys tracking the ship? I sent you all the character sheets. Someone should be tracking the power on the ship.
So you said that we're just down one power, but the power is blank on what I have that you sent us.
Okay. So let's see what it should be.
I assume it's engines plus engineering. 12.
Ensign Reynolds, get into the access duct.
Who's playing Ensign Reynolds right now?
Everybody.
Well, at some point, Dr. Worm, I wanted if you could analyze the sample to see if they're native to the planet or if they were foreign. In other words, maybe they came from the 2 ships, one of the 2 ships that landed there. In other words, is it a homegrown acid that they were taking, or was it imported?
I think when we scanned on the planet, it was just part of the river, so we didn't get a sample, as far as I know, because that would have made it easier for me to treat the lieutenant.
That's right. No sample was taken.
We got 75% of local surveying samples.
But you didn't take samples. You just did a survey.
Okay.
Okay, a starship's normal power capacity is equal to its engines. Talents may modify this further, but I don't think that's the case for your ship. Oh, no, it does. Yeah, so normally the engines are 9. And and you do have the improved power systems talent, which is what Matt was describing. So normally full power would be 9. Total is 9, so you're down to 8 because you lost 1. Lieutenant Vomi just wants to roll a task to see if she can get the power back. She succeeded, so you're back up at 9. You do have the ability to spend a momentum to get 2 back, but at this time you're already back up at full, so
Sure.
No need.
No need.
So, we were
Ship's logs.
Ship's logs. Okay, what you have actually are the logs of Lieutenant Kearney. They're his personal logs. Do you want to listen to them now? Is that what we're doing?
If there's one specifically about the condition of the Atlantis as he was jettisoning out, as he like a reflective one, then that would be the one we want.
Lieutenant John Kearney, personal log supplemental. The Romulan bird of prey crashed before her crew could enable the self-destruct mechanism. A cheer went up among the crew in the torpedo bay as huge sections of the enemy vessel burned up in the atmosphere. I don't blame the crew for cheering death. We spent weeks playing a deadly game of cat and mouse through a nearby asteroid field until we finally got the jump on them in this uncharted star system. Scans of the planet revealed that whole segments of the hull went down intact and were strewn across a debris field over 100 kilometers long. Captain Suarez sent us to the planet's surface to salvage the wreckage for technology that might help the war effort. Personal log, supplemental. It's a new entry. After a thorough investigation of the Romulan vessel, we found no salvageable technology. As we returned to our shuttle, the ground began to quake, and one of the distant volcanoes, which we had earlier thought dormant, erupted. Its ash quickly blocked out the sun. We found our shuttle on its side, thrusters damaged. We retreated inside to transmit our report to the Atlantis crew and request immediate assistance, but received no answer. We have spent the night holed up here, battered by violent weather, eruptions, and more quakes. None of us have slept, though at least the night righted the shuttle. From what we can surmise, the Atlantis has disappeared. If she had to break orbit, the captain would have found a way to let us know. Has she been destroyed by another Romulan bird of prey in a surprise attack, stranding us here? Ensign Bowman thinks he can repair the shuttle's thrusters and that we should return to orbit in hopes of finding answers. Personal log supplemental. Ensign Bowman is dead. He worked through the night on the thrusters. We found him outside in the gray morning, covered in this strange bluish moss, which seemed to be eating him alive. There was nothing we could do to save him. The shuttle pod can't leave the planet's surface, even if we could repair the thrusters. The moss has infiltrated the engine exhaust ports and drained the power system. It must feed on energy. We are putting the shuttle in low power mode and setting an emergency distress beacon in hopes of rescue. Using gloves from our EVA suits, Ensign Crane and I will be taking shifts clearing the moss from the door. The ground continues to quake daily. Personal log supplemental. 2 weeks and the moss regrows each day almost as fast as it can be cleared. Even rationing, our supplies are nearly gone. We will hold out as long as we can. The weather grows cold. Except for the moss, it seems all other plant life is dying. Personal log supplemental. There was an accident. Crane cut his arm while hunting the single-eyed rodent-like animals we have been subsisting on. The moss must have gotten into the wound. It ate him from the inside out, like a flesh-eating bacterial disease. This will be my last entry. No one is coming. I am here alone now.
All right. I want to do 2 things. Dr. Worm, I want you to quarantine John Kerry. His name?
Kearney.
Yeah. And I explained to him what we just heard, and to quarantine John Kearney until he's sure that whatever moss or anything that he may have had on him from that ship concerning this death-eating moss is not on the ship and everything's fine. But until then, clear it. And the other thing is I want to hail the Discovery. Is that what this was? Discovery?
Atlantis.
Excuse me. Hail the Atlantis and see if anyone's on board.
Captain, do you still want me to interrogate the quarantined patient?
I thought we just did. Was that with the logs? So
that
we were
was
doing
the logs.
that.
Yeah.
Well, you're on your. I mean, I figure in game terms, you're still on your way there.
Okay.
But whenever we hear, is that my doorbell?
It wasn't mine.
Oh.
I don't have one.
So your Amazon showing up?
Hang on 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
All right, yeah,
That's
go
weird.
answer your door.
Who's at his door at 10:30?
I don't know. It's a little weird, isn't it?
Well, the only people I see doing knocking on doors at that time of night is Amazon Flex drivers that are lost.
Okay, well, before he had to go, the captain ordered an attempt to communicate with the Atlantis. So who's going to hail the Atlantis?
Would that be Petersburg's job?
I don't know. There was a communications officer on TOS, but it was always Worf who did it on the Next Generation. Maybe Zoodle should be hailing.
Okay. Well, I will take my turbo lift back to the bridge. Just like turn around.
I mean,
like,
anyone could probably
down.
hail the ship. I don't know. You're supposed to be going to interrogate somebody. Maybe Reynolds or Petersburg. Yeah, either one.
Matt, do you want to play Petersburg?
Go ahead.
Sure.
All right, Petersburg.
So I'll hail the Atlantis.
Static.
I'll report to Lieutenant Zoodle that it's just static.
I can try and boost the signal through the array. I suddenly can't remember the name.
The main deflector dish?
The main deflector disc, yes.
Yeah, that's what we use for everything. All right.
Lieutenant Vomi, what if we need to think more low-tech solution, where they're running on old systems?
I mean, Vomi would know, and Zoodle should know because he passed Starfleet Academy, that it's not hard to communicate with an old ship if you just know it's an old ship. Petersburg was hailing on the correct frequencies. It's just that they're static.
Petersburg is going to turn the frequency up by 1 and try again, just because why not?
Okay. You hear more static at a slightly different pitch.
I'm just trying to get a radio station, really.
Well, Petersburg was built to scan for Waldo. Check what's on that ship, I guess.
I'm going to scan the ship, see if we can do that. We can't reach them for hailing, so can we scan them for life forms or any sign of life? What
stats are those, Steve?
I'm gonna give you this one. It's a difficulty 0.
Okay.
There are 50 human life signs aboard the Atlantis.
50 human life signs.
And they're not responding to any hails?
According to your records, the crew complement of the Atlantis was 83.
Oh, okay. So.
We know where 3 of those people are because that was in the log.
Yeah, 1's on your ship, 2 are dead on the planet.
So
there's 30 people missing.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Vomi spins in her chair and looks directly into the captain's eyes and says, we cannot leave these people behind. You know my record.
Yeah. Yeah. But they're not responding to hails? We can't communicate with them at all?
No, they're not responding. You can't establish contact.
Their position within the wormhole, where like, how's their orbit? Are they in a place where are they in a stable like orbit that we can even get to?
They're not orbiting it. They're actually inside of it. And you are being pulled inside of it as well as your power is drained, which, by the way, one more of those. Power goes down 1.
So we're at 9?
You were at 9, now you're at 8, yeah.
Now we're at 8.
Would our tractor beam be strong enough to pull them out if we got close enough and boosted our power again?
It's something to try. But at this time, you can't even get yourselves out.
Well,
Lieutenant Vomi, is there any chance that the wormhole's affecting our communication, or?
The tachyon emissions may be distorting the signal as it approaches their ship.
Would we be able to beam on board the ship despite that interference?
Who are you asking?
Lieutenant Vomi. Anyone. Can we beam on that ship? Is it possible?
Yes. It is possible to beam on board the Atlantis. But it will require getting much closer to it, which, if you wait, you will do.
With a focus in astronavigation, thinking about turning to the comms expert and suggesting a slingshot maneuver to get close and break free, and then maybe return again after we beam aboard. Captain, a suggestion?
Not yet. Can we try hailing him again?
I can try and adjust for the tachyon emissions. It may be slowing our broadcast. It may even be speeding up our broadcast. It's hard to tell.
Might I suggest we use our patient to try and hail them? They might recognize that name. And it'd be
more, well, let's see if we get anyone comms first. Then we'll see if they can recognize anyone. Let's try him again, and adjusting for tachyon emissions.
Okay.
Blorp.
So that was, you want to try adjusting for the tachyon emissions to clear up the channel?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess that'll be Vomi. Go ahead and roll. What do you think's applicable here? I think reason and science.
Okay, so that's a target of 13.
All right. This is going to be difficulty 3.
Can we use the ship also?
Yes. So you can be assisted by the ship's
communications?
Yeah, communications and science.
Can I steal one of those momentum dice to purchase a third?
Yeah.
I rolled a 16, 12, and a 3.
And what was your target? 13?
13.
Okay, so that's 2 successes. Who rolled for the ship?
I did. So 12 and a 6, and it would have been under 14.
Okay, so you have 4 successes. So you're going to get your momentum back.
Nice. Good job.
You have managed to cut through the static and establish a solid connection to the communication system on board the Atlantis. However, no one over there answers your hail. You've cleared up the connection, but still no one's talking.
Can we check Starfleet protocols to see what to do next?
Starfleet protocols, I'm going to say, are that you should beam over and investigate if it is safe to do so.
Let's check in with Dr. Worm. Anything? His patient has made a full recovery, and anything we have to worry about from this goo that was on him?
So, I guess the question is, did Kearney have any moss or growth on him? And then it sounds like, based on the blogs, that the material got in through a cut on one of his crewmates. So, I mean, we can scan for that, but I don't know if that's something that we would have noticed when we scanned him initially on the planet.
Yeah, you are aware of that moss from the planetary scans that that Reynolds did, and you, based on the logs that you guys heard, if that moss gets into a cut, it starts eating you alive. So, Dr. Worm, you are 100% confident that Lieutenant Kearney has not been infected by this moss.
So I guess I would just ask Lieutenant Kearney, tell him that we listened to the logs and that we heard about his crewmates and what had happened to them. And also, has it been communicated to me that we've located his ship and that we're trying to contact them and ask him if there's any way that he can help us out with that?
Sure, why not?
So that's what I'm doing. I'm asking him.
If you've already hailed them, they should be answering.
My understanding is that there's no response on the other end. We've established a communication with them, but we haven't been able to get anybody to respond to us.
I'd like to go to the bridge. Can I see your captain? Maybe I can help you there.
I'll communicate with the captain and let him know that Kearney's willing to come, but it's up to him.
Well, let him put him through comms. Keep him in sickbay for now, but let him. I can hear him. What does he want to say?
Captain, this is Lieutenant Kearney.
Lieutenant Kearney, this is Captain Jack Hunter.
Thank you for rescuing me from the planet, Captain. Without you and your people, I'd be dying alone down there.
Be dead in the water.
I heard you found the Atlantis in some kind of wormhole?
That's right, Lieutenant. We've been unable to establish communications with anyone on board, but we are reading life forms.
There should be 80 of them over there.
Oh, we're reading about 50.
And none of those 50 are answering your communications.
That's correct.
if I could come to your comms, maybe let them know that I'm over here. Maybe they'll answer me. They should be answering you. It's Starfleet protocol, but I don't know why they wouldn't be. Maybe they'll answer if they hear my voice.
Who's the captain on board the Atlantis?
It's Captain Suarez.
It's more of a test to see if he knows who the captain is, then rather than trying to make you come up with a name.
So it's been 6 years since I've talked to anyone. It's Captain Suarez.
Our records indicate that he is telling the truth, sir.
Lieutenant Carey, I want you to stay down in sickbay just for now.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right. So out of game, because I don't want to just bogart it because I'm playing the captain. What do we should do? What do you guys think?
Ultimately, I know that I'm gonna have to go over to that boat, and I'm taking Kearney with me, and I'm giving him a gun.
That's kind of how I feel too.
Vomi will want to go.
Vomi will want to go.
I don't think there's any reason why we shouldn't let him communicate. Like he's shown zero aggression. I mean, essentially since we met him, and he's only gotten better. So
that's fair too. I'm just naturally hesitant about bringing anyone on that we pick up on a stranded planet up to the bridge if it's not necessary.
You can have him stand right next to Zoodle, and then maybe he can finally knock somebody out.
No, I think if anything, I'd just say let's just beam him with Dr. Zoodle, with Lieutenant Zoodle, and a team. Just beam him over there and see what happens.
And it would help because he is a registered member, and if they really are the Atlantis, they have no idea who we are.
Yeah.
Especially Mia Bajoran. They might shoot me on sight just out of pure xenophobia.
No.
And also, I've learned from the age of COVID that it's best to limit exposure to people who have had contact with deadly diseases.
Pish tosh.
Come on, that's not really meta. That's just learning.
Based on the time frame and Captain Archer's experience with the Andorians, they would not be fearful of me.
True.
Lieutenant Vomi, are you
volunteering?
volunteering to go along with the party?
I would appreciate the opportunity, Captain.
Well, our power's at 8, so we're good now, but we may need you back here if the power starts to drop any lower. Because from what I understand, you're the person to talk to about that.
Your decision, Captain.
Dr. Worm?
Yep.
Do you want to go along on this little adventure?
Yeah, I can go.
It's a one-shot, right? This is a one-shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Hunter's going too.
Okay, you got it.
Finally got him out of that chair.
Okay, so
install the heating. Yeah.
all of our main characters are leaving the ship and going to the other ship, right? That's what's happening?
Yes.
Okay.
I got to be back. I'm sorry for that, but yeah, hold on 1 second.
All right, no problem. I don't know where he's going all the time. Okay.
I'll leave extensive instructions for my engineering crew. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys all have underlings that you can, like, here's how you security, here's how you engineer, here's how you doctor.
The yellow button is the photon torpedoes.
So
It's a shield.
you guys are taking Kearney with you, right?
Yeah.
So all 4 of you plus Lieutenant John Kearney. Okay.
I just really want to use my main right hook.
You may get the opportunity there.
Up, but I actually have a prosthetic arm that has a Starfleet symbol on the side of it. Which has never been necessary to talk about it.
So, okay, I think you need to help me out with, like, some of the context of the setting. Because I thought that the Atlantis was from organization that is not the same organization that we work for currently.
That's correct. It's technically correct, yes. They're both called Starfleet, though.
Okay, so that is what has been really messing with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in Starfleet in the time of the Atlantis was an Earth organization. Okay. Your Starfleet is a Federation outfit.
Okay. And then, second question.
Yeah.
Because clearly Cody failed officer school. What was their primary directive in that version of Starfleet?
The same, actually. They're exploration focused, meeting new races, all of that stuff. The Federation's version of Starfleet is more or less derived from the original human version of Starfleet, which you will often hear people say about Star Trek, and even sometimes within Star Trek, that Starfleet is not a military organization. That's actually correct. Historically, Starfleet is supposed to have derived more from science organizations like NASA.
I just misunderstood from the context of the Romulan War. So, that's good though.
Yeah.
I'm on the same page now.
So, yeah, it goes like NASA, Earth Starfleet, Federation Starfleet. That's kind of the lineage of the organization.
Cool. So I'm less worried about getting shot for being a Xeno.
Yeah, they're not going to shoot you just because they don't know your species. That's not the people on the Atlantis are roughly the same era as Captain Archer in the show Star Trek Enterprise, which I know you haven't watched, but if you watch that show, like that's the same. Like they're on the same class of starship and everything. So.
Okay. All right. Well, we got our team.
Yeah. The four of you main characters plus John Kearney all beam over, leaving the Ambition without its command staff, and you arrive on the transporter pad.
I would like to reiterate, I did give him a modern phaser and told him how to point and pull.
Oh, Kearney has a modern phaser. Okay.
Yeah. Because he was rocking a bow and arrow.
You arrive on the Starship Atlantis's transporter pad. Now, these old NX class starships, the transporter pad was a big thing, bigger even than the one on your ship, because it was used mostly for cargo. It was approved like just recently to transport living people, but people were still mostly using shuttles at that time because transporters were kind of new. So like the primary usage of a transporter on this kind of ship was seen as cargo. So you're in that sort of room. It looks like a cargo area. And it looks not okay. It's run down, like it hasn't been maintained as well as it should be. There's damage to the interior bulkheads. But you arrive safely, and there are 3 Atlantis crewmen standing in the transporter room, aiming their old-timey weapons at you.
So can I read the room again?
What was that, Dr. Worm?
Can I read some minds and see what the general atmosphere is, aside from having guns pointed at us?
Tension, suspicion, and fear.
So I'll just turn to Captain Hunter and say they're scared and they're nervous. Let's see how this plays out.
Captain says, "Stand down. I'm Captain Jack Hunter of the Starship Ambition. I'm here to help."
And as soon as you finish, I would like to say we've rescued Lieutenant John Kearney from. Did we get a planet name ever?
No.
That one.
from that one.
From that
the one that
planet.
it was left on,
That one over there.
which what should have been 6 years ago, according to him.
Kearney? Says one of the guys. Oh no, actually, it's a woman. She says, Kearney? 6 years? It's been 2 years since we lost Kearney and his team.
His logs say otherwise.
It seems like you have all experienced a lapse in time. It has been 200 years since we've lost the Atlantis.
One of the guys will. Oh no, this is also a woman. I should read the names before I start talking. she's gonna raise up her hand and make everyone back up. She's gonna say, "Acting Captain Caitlin Mallory, Starship Atlantis. Thank you for bringing Kearney back to us. But I don't recognize your uniform. And I don't recognize all of your species either. We're at war here. We have reason to believe that there may be spies already on this ship. How do we know that you are who you say you are? And how do we know that that's even John Kearney?"
Does anyone else want to take this? Because I can keep captaining all day. But
we have
Dr. Worm.
So we have an extensive record of your crew. We could share intel with them that only closely connected would know. But if we were spies, we would of course know that too, I guess.
I mean, like a bioscan would be a thing, so we could scan Lieutenant Kearney and them, and that's something that they didn't have 200 years ago. So
I do want to say, as a captain, in character, I would communicate that there's not a lot of time for this. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe we can just go, "Hey, Lieutenant Kearney, can you help us out here?"
Yeah, he's going to step forward. Even as you're already asking him to. He's going to say, Caitlin, I don't understand. What happened here? I've been on that planet 6 years. If it hadn't been for Captain Hunter and his people, I'd still be there. They've told me incredible stories about 200 years of history. The Romulan War is over. To which Mallory says, "That sounds like exactly what a Romulan spy would say. It's not that I'm not glad to see you, Kearney, but we've been trapped here for 2 years. Now you're saying it's 6, and these guys are saying 200.
Lieutenant Vomi, what is the general understanding of tachyon particles in this period of time?
We've got a pretty decent understanding of what they do. We can't control them so much.
What was... I'm sorry.
They seem to be caught in some sort of time dilation field within this wormhole.
Was the concept existing? Like, did the concept exist 200 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, guys, tachyon particles are a concept that exist in real life right now. They are theoretical particles that travel backwards through time. They travel the wrong way through time.
Okay.
Tennant was real.
So we can use that to like leverage this conversation. Like, could you run them down a very brief version of the science to help them like really make this feasible? Because at the end of the day, our ship is slingshotting towards this wormhole, and if we can't figure out how to help these people, we're both going to be stuck here for another 200 years.
I would ask how their power systems are, if they've tried to escape the gravity well of the wormhole, and if there were any repairs that I could assist with.
We haven't been able to escape this gravity well for 2 years. I don't know what a wormhole is, but I do know that there's something out there that's holding us where we are. And there's someone on this ship who came from whatever that thing is.
The wormhole or another?
There's an object.
The planet?
There's an object that we can't identify outside, near our ship, that is the source of this gravity that's holding us here. We've been trying to identify it for 2 years, and all we know for sure is that just before our ship got caught in it, something beamed over here from there.
Acting Captain, we can help. Take us to the bridge. Let's see what information we can find.
And also, you're missing 30 crew.
It's
What
been
happened?
a long 2 years.
Did you eat the other?
So I think
No.
resort to cannibalism.
Oh, just asking. You know.
No, that's not what happened. Captain Hunter, can I speak with you privately?
I look at everyone else and nod, and we step up privately, but Lieutenant Zoodle?
Yes.
He's leaving you in
Lieutenant.
command. That's his. That's
Oh,
his.
yeah,
I'm
right.
leaving you in command. All
That's me
right.
accepting command, totally.
So she.
If I'm not back.
If I'm not back, just kill everyone. She walks you out of the transporter room into a corridor where nobody is. And Mallory says to you, the life form from the other object, whether it's a ship or what, we don't know, beamed over here right before we got caught in that gravity well. We never located whoever it was that came, but suspicions began to spread among the crew that one of us was an imposter. Factions formed, and there have been murders. There's been a complete breakdown in trust in the crew, and the various factions have been killing each other out of sheer fear for 2 years.
Is this crew salvageable?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Are you asking me if they'll ever work together again? Probably not. Are you asking me if I think they deserve to live? Yes.
But someone on this ship is an alien imposter that's possibly the cause of this. You're unable to leave the gravity well?
That's the reigning theory.
Okay. Let's go back to everyone else.
Okay.
What's in front of everyone? I'll make sure everyone here, like captain. What's the current status of the crew? In other words, what parts of the ship can you currently access, or can we currently access?
Well, we're on D deck now. It's been largely ignored by most of the crew. We can get to the command center and we can get to the bridge. And that's about it.
All right, so I want to let everyone else. I want to say, let me talk to my crew privately, and just
Yeah, we can fast forward. You told them, yeah.
Told them what's going on. They weren't able to find the source of the gravity well. We're not able to leave until we find a source of gravity well and turn it off. Captain is pretty clear that they think there's an imposter on board that's the cause of all this. We have information on Atlantis from the future. I don't know how we should proceed. That's not me as the captain. That's me as the player. What do we do?
I mean, the captain's also allowed to ask that. What do we do?
Okay, then what do we do?
Well, I think having Dr. Worm scan everyone one at a time is going to be way too slow of finding out which one is an alien imposter.
Also, there's different factions there, too, and we don't even know what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to be honest, I can read people's minds, so that may be a little bit faster than scanning everybody. But secondarily, Captain, I think it might be worth it for you to ask what the reasoning was behind Lieutenant Kearney potting off to the planet. I mean, was he just after the ship, like the log said, or was there some other motive or whatever? Maybe the other captain can let us in on.
Yeah, so then we turn to the acting captain and say, what was your mission that you last reported? What happened to the original captain?
Well, you understand we're at war with the Romulans. Our mission was to win the war. We were locked in a cat and mouse game with this bird of prey for weeks. We finally shot it down on this planet, and we sent Kearney and his team to scout out the debris and see if there was anything salvageable there that might be useful for the war effort.
And that's when something beamed aboard your ship?
That's when something appeared and sucked us into this wormhole, if that's what you call it.
Yes, there's... Go ahead.
Could our boy Petersburg scan for specific anomalies now that we know something of what we're looking for?
He's back on the Ambition.
Can I not just message him?
Yeah,
you can do that.
Okay, well I asked him that.
Okay, who's going to be Petersburg?
I'll do it.
Okay, so you're going to roll reason plus science assisted by the ship's sensors plus science.
Petersburg, Reynolds. I don't have. Oh, here it is.
I can just.
I got it. I got it. It's cool.
Okay.
You said science and reason?
That's correct. And then the ship. Who's going to roll for the ship?
Have you done the ship, Mia?
I have not.
It's your turn.
And we're rolling what on that again? I apologize.
Oh, it's
something up.
Sensors plus science.
14. Okay. 2d20s again. Okay.
Correct. 2d20 for the ship. 2d20 for Reynolds or Petersburg. Sorry.
Oh, we don't have a difficulty yet. I didn't hear one at least.
Yeah, the difficulty is actually going to be lowered by the ship's advanced sensors. So it would have been 2. It's now 1.
Okay.
I rolled 9 and 8.
Okay. And what Petersburg's...
I pulled... Well, no, I think... Yeah.
Higher than that. Okay.
Cody, if you have it...
It's 15.
It's 15.
Okay.
Yeah. What about the ship, Mia?
I rolled a 15 and a 19.
Oof.
Okay, so the ship provided no help.
Did scanning focus give us +1 to each of those rolls, so we actually beat it by 3?
Okay.
Give us our marbles.
They're not marbles. They're beads. They're flat bottoms. You wouldn't know it from the way that one just rolled away. Okay. There they are. You have a lot of momentum. Petersburg, you identify this object. Previous scans indicated that the source of the gravity well was the Atlantis itself. It is now clear to you with this new information that there is in fact a second object that was at first invisible to your sensors, but it is right by the Petersburg, behind it, by about 100 kilometers, but from your angle behind it.
So it was behind the Atlantis 100 meters.
Yes,
I assume.
behind the Atlantis, not behind the Petersburg. You're the Petersburg.
Well, how Lieutenant Vomi, any ideas of how we dislodge this object 100 meters outside the Atlantis?
They do have rear-firing photonic torpedoes. I don't know if they've got that ability remaining to them.
I have to go to the bridge to find out. We can't access the bridge. You can probably scan the object from up there too. Maybe get some kind of a better reading from it.
All right. Let's reassess once we get to the bridge now that we know exactly what we need to be doing.
Okay.
Do we get to the bridge without incident?
Yes. You are with what is known as the command faction among the Atlantis crew. So they have secured a clear path to the bridge already. And you reach it without difficulty.
All right. Lieutenant Vomi, let's see if you can get a better reading off that thing. Before we shoot it, I'd say it might be a good idea, I guess, to try again. And we have momentum. We have a lot of momentum from that last. Well, I say we use that. Also, wait, before we do that, maybe like on the way there, if Dr. Worm wants to use his telepathy, to read the minds of the current command crew, just to make sure we're not actually being used by this, make sure that they're telling the truth.
Yeah, there are a few people there. The first person who spoke to you was the chief engineer, who has identified herself as Darlene Phillips. The first officer, acting captain Caitlin Mallory. There's also a science officer, Shiro Takahashi. An acting armory officer, Lieutenant Ed Parrish. And a column officer, Ensign Lou Mendola. So are you scanning them telepathically as you go, Dr. Worm?
Yeah, I guess since our conversation, I would like to determine if their mood has changed or their emotions have changed, where they've maybe calmed down a little bit, or if they're still tense, and also like their emotions, if they're if hostile or anything like that.
Well, they're definitely, without even trying, that they're all still very suspicious and they are racked with fear. I'm going to have you roll insight plus, this is hard to say, insight plus, I'll say medicine or command, I think, either one. Obviously, medicine's going to be better for you.
True.
In order to scan their minds individually and see what you can learn about them.
I do have a talent for constantly watching, which will reduce difficulty by 1 to detect danger or hidden enemies. So I feel like that might help in this situation if there is some.
I feel like this is exactly what that ability's for. I'm just looking at your sheet to see what else will apply.
I mean, if you're looking for an imposter of some kind, I do have xenobiology, so I'd be looking for something that's not human, maybe, if we're looking at like an Earth-based.
A xenobiology would apply if you were going about this in a different way, but doing it by reading minds doesn't involve xenobiology.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. So your telepath talent applies, and your constantly watching a talent applies, and that's it. So you roll insight plus medicine.
So a 1 and a 10. 1 counts as 2, I think.
Yeah, so that's 3 successes. And you needed 3 successes. I didn't tell you the difficulty, it was 3. You've identified the imposter.
That was fast.
Yeah. Yeah. I told you I was going to shorten it. It took a little effort at first because on the surface, this person really does think he is Ensign Lou Mendola. But you know that this is because this creature, when it absorbs a sentient life form, not only assumes its shape, but retains all the knowledge and memories of the new host body. And beneath this surface-level facade of Lou Mendola, there is in fact a creature of unknown origin, terrified of being discovered.
Can you tell us that telepathically, Worm?
So if I'm close enough to somebody, like, not proximity-wise, but like emotionally, then I can convey that. If anybody feels like they've been around me long enough, then I'm fine retconning that, but I don't know how long we've been together as a crew or anything like that.
The amount of times you've had to patch me up after sucker punching an alien is immense. That's all I know.
And then we're deciding that this is happening on our way to the bridge, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm fine telepathically communicating that to Lieutenant Zoodle, and then I wanna like kind of hesitate back and scan the imposter. Maybe get some information about what exactly they are.
Okay.
And maybe this is where like xenobiology would come in handy with my meta tricorder thing.
As you continue to scan telepathically, it's the next emotion that hits you, almost overwhelming. So much so that it's become just a part of this creature's every thought. That he doesn't even notice anymore that he feels this way. It's just an overwhelming sense of guilt.
Yes, so I'd also like to communicate that to Lieutenant Zoodle, just to make sure that we don't. I want to avoid like a flat-out confrontation. We're in the business of exploring and identifying and not militarizing. So.
Says you. Anyways.
Mia, you are muted.
Vomi has a suggestion, a militaristic suggestion, a possible way to break the out of the wormhole, possibly.
Okay. Is this related to the imposter or related to the gravity well object?
The gravity well object.
Okay.
She suggests creating an asymmetrical explosion with 2 photonic torpedoes while she realigns the front dish to scatter the tachyon field in front of the ship. And to punch the ship's forward momentum the moment those explosions go. She's trying to like suss out a way to escape.
That is incredibly awesome.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
However,
it's the same thing.
Vomi, you will be aware from previous scans that the Atlantis is almost without power.
Atlantis. Okay.
So punching it is not an option for the Atlantis.
Just nudging it.
So
Speaking
using
of punching
nudging it with a deflector pulse to the rear to create a nudge.
Well, the deflector pulse would have to come from the Ambition, which is on the other side, right? It's here's the gravitational object,
Yeah.
and then here's the Atlantis.
Okay.
And then the Ambition is like way over here.
So here's what we can use: the Ambition's missile weaponing systems for that. I know it's capable of doing that for the proton torpedoes, right?
Sure.
So we just need to get enough power for a punch, which I know you can make that happen. You just need to get into the engine room. We need to make sure you get there safely. Secondly, acting captain, what's her name? Mallory?
Yeah.
We need that ensign on deck, and I point at him.
Do you mean
I point at,
ensign?
and yeah, sorry, man.
What do you mean on deck?
Well, he's gonna be necessary for something.
What do you want me to give you my crewman for?
No, he's just coming with us to the bridge.
We're all going to the bridge. Everyone's on the way to the bridge right now.
I didn't know he was following us. I
You're
just
all
misunderstood
going.
that.
Yeah, that's why Dr. Worm was able to scan him. You guys are there by now.
I thought we were just walking by, drive by, scanning people.
Yeah, that's funny.
You guys are actually already on the bridge by the time you're saying this. And yeah, Ensign Mendola is there with you.
Do all I don't even know the name of my race anymore.
Bajorans.
Bajoran, can they all do the ear pinching paw thing?
No, it's a religion thing.
Well, there goes that idea.
I mean, you can pretend.
I can totally pretend. I would like to pretend.
Okay, whose ear are you gonna pinch?
I'm going to ask acting captain if I may commune with the ensign, because I have reason to believe that they're the answer to a lot of the questions we have.
She looks to the ensign, who shakes his head. He's not interested in communing with you, whatever that means.
And how can I intimidate him? Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm going to intimidate him by saying, through our culture, shows us that what do they call it? Not the prophet. There's another word they use. Something about like the warp. Either ways.
Prophets, yeah. The prophets are like their gods.
The prophets show us that the paw can reveal our true status of our hearts, and reveal us a lot of unknown information, even unknown to us themselves.
Okay. Ensign Mendola glances around and makes eye contact with Lieutenant Vomi, having heard all the conversations that you guys had on the way here, except for the telepathic ones. Ensign Mendola says, I can help you guys, but I want to speak to the Andorian.
Her antennas perk up a little bit, and she's like, turns her head and she's like, Captain, I will, I guess, speak to him.
You're muted, Bon.
You want to speak to my science officer about, or my engineer?
About some things that I think that she might best understand.
Well, we're on a time crunch here, and if it has anything to do with engineering or gravity well, I'd like to hear this too.
He is moving as he speaks, as you guys have this conversation. He's inching to his right. And in the layout of the room where you guys are standing, it seems like he's going towards the door.
Oh.
I'll move to intercept.
He is also moving away from the other Atlantis crew members.
I just do like an eyebrow cock to Captain, and I'm like waiting for like an engagement, like acknowledgement.
He is.
I order Mendola to stop. Like, stand fast. Does he keep moving?
He stops when you tell him to stop. He was trying to do it surreptitiously. It's like deer in the headlights now that you've called him out on it. But he glances across all of you. And he looks over at the other people. The Atlantis crew.
And I kind of glance over at Lieutenant Zoodle, like, this is your call now. What's going on?
All right, now and I start to approach him to do the ear pinching thing.
I'll put a hand up to stop Zoodle's. Like, I'll speak to him. If he has valuable information to help us escape, then we should show trust.
Okay. You can talk to him, and I'm gonna totally reposition to put myself like where the door is.
Okay, let's hear what he has to say.
Ensign, what do you have to say?
I'm not Ensign Lou Mendola. It was necessary for me to take his form in order to survive. I regret many of the things that this has caused. I, like yourself, am a scientist. I come from another universe, parallel to yours. I was conducting experiments with space-time manipulation, and there was an accident that created this anomaly in which we now sit. I cannot exist in your universe in my natural state, and that's why I had to take over Ensign Mendola's body. By telling you this, I've now doomed myself, because the Atlantis crew will kill me. But it's important that you understand, if this anomaly is not stopped, it will continue to expand until it eventually destroys all life in your universe and in mine.
Well, I raise a hand up to Acting Captain Mallory, assuming, I'm not too sure exactly like the rank and file and all this, but I'm assuming I have higher rank than her, that I'm able to kind of say, hey, stop. I mean, I want to say Lieutenant Zelda restrain Ensign Modelo. Not Modelo.
Mendola.
Yeah. And then, are you able to stop this anomaly? Are you able to shut this down? I'll ask Manola.
For 2 years, I've been trying to find a way to do it with the equipment available here on the Atlantis. It's not possible. not without a massive, massive explosion. The object in the gravity well that's holding us here is my ship from back home. It's not interacting normally with your universe because of where we come from. But if it could be destroyed with a powerful enough explosion, it would collapse the wormhole. The only way I have found to generate such an explosion is by overloading the warp core of this ship. Doing that would kill everyone on board. And I would have done it anyway, except for the fact that we don't control engineering.
What do you guys think?
Captain, can the Ambition ambitiously support 50 more lives?
Dr. Worm?
I think it's a short trip. We can get them where they need to be. I don't see why not.
In a pinch, you got room for 50.
Yeah, my team is well prepared to handle 50 refugees, with even if some are hostile.
But do we want to take this imposter with us?
Yeah.
That's not a question I'm asking out loud to the group. It's more, I mean, well, I wouldn't say that in front of the guy, like, hey, we're going to take this guy with us when we blow up the ship, or is he going to...
Well, we can take him with, and if the anomaly doesn't close, then we'll deal with him as we see fit afterwards.
That's fair.
I got cuffs on me, right?
Cuffs? I don't know. I've never seen handcuffs on a security officer in Star Trek.
Seriously?
They just don't do that. Usually Worf just knocks the guy out.
No. And then what?
Or Odo just knocks the guy out, and that's it. The scene ends.
The scene ends.
So there's no
what
way
happens when
to...
they are interrogating them later.
Is there any way to cause a warp core overload from the bridge? Or do we have to get to engineering?
You said you have another ship, right?
Yes.
We do. Yeah.
And you have the ability to take everyone off of this ship?
Yeah.
Well, if you can beam them over to your ship, then we can go to engineering afterwards and do the overload.
So, can we make an announcement over the whole ship?
Well, wait, before we do that, I want to pull over acting Captain Mallory and inform her what's been going on and get her impression of...
Oh, she's in the room, like she heard it all. They got itchy trigger fingers at this moment.
You know, you're the acting captain of this ship.
If
you've been dealing with this for 2 years.
If you can get me and my people off of this ship, do it.
We can do a site-to-site transport. We could beam everybody out of the ship at once and beam them all into the cargo bay.
No.
A security bay.
No, the different warring factions have to be kept in different places. If they suddenly all appear in the same room, they're going to kill each other.
It's good thing we have security bays 1 through 5.
Yep.
Okay. Security bays are a thing, and there's 5 of them.
I think the captain's going to get on the intercom system for the current Atlantis ship and say, this is Captain Jack Hunter. We have figured out a way to release this ship from the wormhole. However, the ship will not survive the process. We are going to beam you all aboard the ship Ambition for rescue. If any of you start fights on my ship, I will beam you back to this ship, and you can work it out here while it's exploding in the gravity well.
Okay. Lieutenant Vomi, you know, it's probably good that they've been given a warning, but you know that since the Atlantis doesn't have shields, the Ambition has the ability to just beam everyone off of here with or without their consent.
Yes.
All at once.
So let's do that.
Can we
Can we
like isolate those that want to go to like meet up, like go to specific rooms on the ship,
With
and then those that would want to stay can stay and hold their distrust, because Zoodle's totally okay with blowing up a ship with the people if it means saving more people.
With acting Captain Mallory's help, you can identify the different areas of the ship and where the different factions are that control those areas. There's an engineering faction, there's a command faction, which is who you're with, there's a sciences faction. And basically, she says if you have a big enough ship that you can just beam them to 3 different locations and not let them see each other, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Which you do have a big enough ship for that.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, if anything, we'll transport them in parts. So one group transport.
Yeah.
Security team on board the Ambition, secure. Next group. 3 big beams.
All right.
Yeah.
Self-destruct button. Boom. Confetti.
I assume my team is actually big enough to deal with that many people at once, and I wasn't just lying.
I mean, you might have to pull in some other people. Yeah.
Yeah.
From outside security.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Stun them all upon arrival.
We still got
sort them
Clank
out later.
So yeah, Clank. He's itching for some hooligan action. So he's there.
I send him a direct comm saying, start getting all of security team riled up. We have a bunch of refugees coming. They will not be happy.
Oi!
Well, because you guys managed to get out without losing too much power on the Ambition, you're actually able to do this transport pretty simply. In the longer version of this mission, it would be challenging to have the power to do this, but we're doing this as a one-shot, so certain things are easier. So, yeah, anytime you give the word, this place can be a ghost town. However, Lieutenant or Ensign Mendola requests to stay so that he can set up the warp core overload.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, we got to make sure he does it.
I will stay until the last moment.
All right. Lieutenant Vomi, give me a check here. It's going to be reason plus engineering. And your difficulty is going to be 2.
Sorry.
I was just going to say it's to see if this being's plan is sound.
Can I use 1 momentum in addition?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a 15, a 1, and a 13.
Hey, 1's a crit.
And what's your target number?
Jiminy. What'd you say was presence and engineering? 13?
Reason and engineering.
Reason, I'm sorry. 13.
Okay. So how many successes was that? You got
I have a 13, then that 1 was 2 successes for rolling a 1, right? So,
yeah, that's right. So you actually broke up on my end, but I heard you say a 13 and a 1 are the successes, and then the other one was a failure. 15,
yeah.
Okay. So you got 3 successes. You get your momentum back because you only needed 2 of them. The explosion created by the overload of this warp core on a 200-year-old ship is going to be big, but it may not be big enough, especially given the condition of said warp core and the amount of power that has been lost over the 2 years it's spent trapped in this wormhole. Lieutenant or Ensign Mendola likely knows that there's a chance this won't work, just because of how long it's taken him to finally pull it off.
We fire a spread of photon torpedoes.
That sounds like a question for Lieutenant Zoodle.
We definitely have the guns.
All right. We're past our usual cutoff time here, so we could do a bunch of dice rolls and stuff, but instead of that, let's just narrate what's going to happen at the end here. Lieutenant Vomi and the so-called Ensign Mendola go to the engineering section of the Starship Atlantis. Where are the rest of you right now? Have you beamed back to the mission? Okay.
I mean, if anything, we probably left the 2 security officers with.
Was one of them Clack?
Oh yeah, definitely one of them.
That's why there's only one Klingon in Starfleet. I am gonna say this. We have on the ship, on the Atlantis, about to set up a warp core overload. Lieutenant Vomi and the alien disguised as Ensign Mendola. In order to get them back, we're going to need someone to operate the transporter with precise timing through the interference from the wormhole and the warp core overloading.
Sounds like Reynolds.
It sounds like Reynolds or Petersburg. This is going to be a task that requires a lot of control. And what is it for beaming? Probably science or engineering.
Definitely the other guy, not my guy.
Reynolds?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to do this. I haven't rolled dice in a while.
Okay, go ahead and roll for Reynolds.
So it was engineering and reason? I'm sorry?
Control.
Control. Okay, so 13. Okay, I would like to use, and I need how many?
Hold on, I haven't told you yet. To save either one of them will be a 2. To save both of them will be a 5.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to use all the momentum, naturally.
Okay, so that's 1 extra die, 2 extra dice, and 3 extra dice, and there was 1 left over. So you can roll 5 d20s.
Yeah, I'm just looking at his focuses. How can I jury rig something? Is there a way he can jury rig some more? Since he knows, like, we're doing mass transports, can he jury rig some more power and like instruments to help with these calculations from other parts of the ship?
Yeah, if you want to reroute power from life support to the transporters, you can do that with a quick power management check.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll do that with, what is that?
Reason and science, or reason and engineering, actually.
And then security, and then difficulty.
It's going to be a 1 for that.
Okay. Okay, I rolled a 10, and oh, thank God, that's an 8. It looks a little cocked, but it's an 8.
Okay, so yeah, you've given yourself that advantage on the transportation check.
So I have 5 dice, and each one of these that pass will count as 2 because I'm using a skill.
Yep.
Is that true?
Yeah, focus. Yeah.
Okay. And my target number is 13.
Yeah, if you get 2 successes, you'll transport one of them. If you get 5 successes, you'll save both of them.
If I don't save anybody here, I really suck.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, baby. All right. 4, 12, 10, 6, 12. 5 successes for 10 total successes.
Okay, just a second.
Nicely done. My brow.
Big damn hero. Reynolds was the big damn hero all along.
Yeah, Reynolds saves
so
everyone. As Zoodle is up on the bridge firing quantum torpedoes into a wormhole, destroying a 200-year-old piece of Federation history. The explosion of the object at the center of the wormhole rocks the entire star system. And then instantly all of the gravity that is yanking your ship towards this thing just releases, and the Ambition suddenly shoots forward like a bat out of hell, shooting right through the star system and out the other side, as you have collapsed the anomaly, and Lieutenant Vomi and the alien in the form of Ensign Mendola materialize on your transporter pad, none the worse for wear. However, one of them is now stranded a universe away from home. And that is where we will end this mission tonight. Unless Captain Jack Hunter wants to make a Star Trek speech about the events that have taken place.
Captain's log. You're muted. You're
muted. He knows he's muted. He knows he's muted. He's doing it on purpose.
I'm not going to repeat all that.
Speech,
no. It was an awesome speech. It was an awesome speech. All right, guys. So that was Star Trek Adventures. We didn't do as bad as I thought we would do with this system, but I think we made some mistakes. But who cares? It's a one-shot. I had fun. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you to everyone for watching. I see in the chat we've got Jason, we had Kenny, we had Sarah, and we had all of you guys, and I think maybe a couple other people throughout. But yeah, man, this was good. I like Star Trek. Next week we have Mistborn Adventures, which we still need people for. We've only got 2 players signed up for that right now. Matt's one of them. But we're learning a whole new game for that. And then this Friday, which is normally our regularly scheduled ongoing 5th edition D&D game, we have Joshua absent from that. So we're going to be doing a one-shot set in Arconia, but in a different place and time than usual. So yeah, on our Friday stream, it's usually an ongoing show, but when we have absences, we like to do one-shots for the sake of world building that setting. And that's it. We'll see you guys back here Friday for that, and then again on Monday for Mistborn Adventures. Thank you again for watching, and good night.
Good night.